Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and I am back to work on the Pieces of the Past, Places of the Past journal. It's got multiple kits in it, and I need to address a few things first. I did not do a video on this front part completely because I started this topper, which was made out of corrugated cardboard, and I put the paint on, and then I was like, I'll come back. Well, when I came back, I had already finished it, simply because at the time I couldn't think of how I wanted to do it, so it kind of was one of those days where it required me playing around to figure out what to do next. So I ended up just finishing it. So I wanted to go over, I know I've gone over it, how I did it, but I wanted to make sure I did it in one of the videos that's for this journal, because I think some people might have missed it if they're just following along with this journal's videos. So all I did was I took the piece with the corrugated cardboard and the white gesso. That's as far as we got. Then I spritzed it with some of the Tim Holtz Distress Oxides. I used the picked raspberry, peacock feather, and sorry for my arm, peeled paint. And then I spritzed those with water, let them drip off, you know, held it kind of sideways, and that's what the coloration is that you're seeing on this. There's some of the peacock feather and the pink down here. Then I just took bits of fabric. There's doily here. This is just a little piece of that number book I have, some kind of gauzy fabric, a piece of crochet, a regular piece of lace, a postage stamp, and I just sort of stacked them onto here, as you can see. And then before I glued this piece onto the front envelope, I collaged the envelope and I added some extra little pieces of fabric that would hang out the side of the cardboard. So that's what those pieces are, and that's all that is. So that's all I did on that. So I'm sorry I didn't do that on camera. It's just sometimes with covers I struggle a little bit on camera, simply because I think of things while I'm going, and it's really hard to do that when I'm on camera because I'm running over there and looking for something, running over there looking for something. You know what I mean? It's hard for me to always plan it exactly. So that is what I did. And I also made, after I collaged this envelope, I made this piece that's just a strip of fabric that had some embroidery already on it here, and there was a piece of lace at the bottom and some embroidery, and I just added other pieces of lace and fabric, and then I stitched around the whole thing. Oh, sorry. That's the other thing I need to talk to you guys about, is the camera issue, and I don't know what that is, if that's everybody is having trouble. So that's why I'm asking. I want you guys to tell me, are you feeling like the image of my videos is washed out, or like you can't see it? I know when I bring things close in a way, that does kind of mess it up, and that's simply the phone trying to focus. I use my iPhone, and I'm not even sure how to fix it, because some have said that it looks washed out and they can't see. Well, it's one person who said it. It's my beautiful friend Robin, and I'm not sure if it's a setting on her iPad or if it's something that everybody's experiencing. So that's why I'm asking, because I want to see if it's an everybody thing or a possible settings problem, because I want to fix it. I don't want her to not be able to see the videos. So I'm trying to figure out if everybody's is washed out or not. I haven't changed any of my lighting. My lighting is the same as it's always been, so I'm not sure. And when I look through my phone, it looks normal. So I don't know. You guys, if you could possibly tell me, that would be fantastic. I would really appreciate it. Sort of like the sound issue we had. It's hard for me to know, because like right now I'm looking through the phone and it looks fine. So I don't know, just let me know. I need to say hugs and blessings to Heidi, Annette, and Rhonda. appreciate you guys and your kind comments and following and watching and all of those things. And welcome new subscribers, and welcome back to continuing subscribers. It's always good to see you guys and hear from you. I love comments. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that helps my videos tremendously, and it helps my channel so that YouTube pushes my videos out in the algorithm. If there's no activity on your channel, then your videos don't get pushed out, and your numbers, you know, watch numbers and all those kind of things are low, and you know, you just don't get the views. So I would so appreciate it if you could like and subscribe and comment if you can, even if all you leave is like a little heart emoji or a smiley face emoji or a emoji, whatever you want, just so that there's some sort of activity on the channel. All right, so I think we've got all of the legalistics or whatever logistics figured out, or hopefully talked about anyway, maybe not figured out. But I have added signatures not sewn in because I have to finish like collaging and doing all those things first. This journal is going to take me a minute. I'm going to be honest about it because I worked on it quite a bit yesterday. I got this all collaged. So this is the cover. You open it. This is a page, and in the middle there will be a signature like this. So I just collaged with all the old papers and whatnot like I did on the front. And then I added these pieces. This was my mixed media piece from the hashtag 50 stack challenge. So if you haven't seen that, that is a 50 stack challenge video, not a video connected with this. I'll probably put it in the same playlist because obviously I made this piece and it goes in this journal. So I did decide to just glue it down because I want it on one of these main sort of the cover pages, if you want to call it that. And then I also added this. This was from last Monday, or from Monday's 50 stack challenge with travel and garden that we did. The garden envelope isn't in here yet, but this is the travel piece because I put suitcases here. That's the only thing that has to do with travel, but hey, it passed, right? It goes along with the prompts, and that was a good way for me to show you guys it doesn't all have to be super travel oriented unless you want it that way. If you want it that way, of course, do it that way. And then there's another pocket here. I need to back that card that's in the Places of the Past digital. I added some stamps and other little fun bits just to give some color and whatnot underneath those pieces. And like I said, this will go in here. On this, I did, this is the pocket page we did together. I wanted to show it to you guys. It's all decorated. There is not a video for this either. I didn't decorate. I did the pocket with you guys, but I didn't decorate it with you guys. Sometimes there's just not time to do all the parts. It's just, I mean, like I said, this journal is going to take me a little bit. But I will show you what I've done so that at least you can get an idea of what I did with that. Remember, there's the 3 pockets there. And then I put one of the postcards from the kit. This was collage masterboard that I cut just the size for this pocket. I added this gentleman. He's in the new abandoned kit, and this frame I cut the center out. Obviously you could leave it so you could write on it if you wanted to, and these are bits from this one's the Pieces of the Past, and then the stamp there. So I did do those things because, you know, I'm trying to get at least a little bit done, because otherwise we're never going to get this thing finished. So what we're going to do today, I have the signature for this one, and I'm probably going to put the garden piece on this page or part of the cover. As you know, it's like a flip-flop journal, so this is the cover, is that thick craft paper, like oh my gosh, grocery bag is what I'm trying to say, but the words are not coming out of my face. So instead of doing the old paper, I'm going to do, on this part, I'm going to use kit paper, because the pocket that I'm going to make is this plain sewing pattern. What would you call it? Instructions. The instructions from a sewing pattern. I'm going to use those to make the pockets, and so I want, you know, I don't want it to be all the neutral colored papers, you know, like that, and what it just will blend in and look kind of boring. So I'm going to do a little bit more color. At least on this side, it may sort of merge into less color over there because I'm going to put this pocket. Oh, that won't work. I forgot this has to go on in this kind of thing. See, this is the struggle that I'm having with this, is to find, to figure out how all these things should go. So say it'll go something like this. Then this will get tucked in there. Then when you turn it, this can flip out. You can write, you have your tag. Okay, so that's gonna have to go in there. So that won't go on here. So we'll just worry about getting this covered and the pocket today. Sorry. Sometimes it's a lot of words. I'm gonna close this while I rip a few pieces. So how are you guys doing? I hope that you're well. I am good. It's a nice day. It is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. So sorry to stink at that. It's actually the day after for you guys now, but I hope you had a wonderful Valentine's Day. Like I said, I got a little bit busy on what was it, Tuesday, and I just never got a video done. Like I said, I've got several things going on with taxes and everything. I don't know, I just got busy yesterday, and well, I was working on this and doing other things and had the Glowforge going, and I can't do videos when the Glowforge is going. So I apologize that I didn't have a video for you guys. I actually got quite a bit of the tax stuff done, so, but I mean, there's always stuff I forget about, and my husband's like, you need this too. It's like, oh yeah. But I'll get it all figured out eventually, right? Still have a little bit of time, but we try to start as early as we can, because it, you know, it just is time consuming. I miss the good old days when I was going to college and whatever, and like you just put in your W-2 basically. Called it a day. That was great. I'd love to do that again. And I know this paper is double-sided, so it's kind of a bummer to use it this way, but it wouldn't fit in my signatures. I was afraid to make them too fat. Oh, and by the way, I did, I think it was 12 or 13 pages per signature. I didn't want to go, because sometimes I'll do like 15 or 18, you know, just depending on the journal. I didn't want to get that many because I was really scared that it would get too fat, you know. I mean, it seems to hold quite a bit, like, I don't know, distributes the bulk a little bit differently than, because in a regular journal you have, it seems that the signatures are always a bit thinner, obviously at the back, than they are at the front, and this sort of helps distribute it a little bit better. So I really do kind of like this, the way this is working out so far. So I hope you guys like it. It's just something different to do instead of the same old thing. I do get a little, I don't want to say bored, because I love what I do, but you know, I like doing different types of things. I can't do, like so many people, I wish I could do this, but to make like 6 journals at a time, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I would love to. I'd be have a lot more accomplished that way, but I don't know, my brain just doesn't work like that very well. So I get antsy, like I just just want to be done with it, and that's not the right way to feel about it. If you want it to be something interesting for people to look at. If you're just trying to get them done, then I guess that would work. But I like them to be unique, and so I can't do that when I'm making mass amounts. And mass is, I could never make mass, but you know what I'm talking about. 5 journals all at one time or whatever. I can't even seem to get myself to make 2. I think I did that once. But yeah, I may strengthen these spines too, because you can see I've left them the color. And I like that, but I might cover them too, just to strengthen them a little bit, because that is obviously going to be the spine and that weight of the journal hanging on them. I don't want it to end up being a problem, so I probably will do that. And these ones I am inking, and that's simply because the paper is too light in the middle. If it was like old paper like this when I was tearing it and it was the same color all the way through, I wouldn't worry about doing that. But I don't want those. This is even ivory paper, but I don't want that lighter edge. I just don't like it showing. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a lovely Valentine's Day with your family, friends, whoever it is that you love and like to spend time with. I might use a little bit of other stuff just because. Oh, that's cute, except it says drugs, but those little cherubs are adorable. Adorable. Drugs with cherubs, that's different. Okay, sorry. Ay, ay, ay. I do like the buttons. Maybe I'll use buttons. Yeah, so I'm doing good. My hubby bought me a box of yummy coffee, and it has chocolate colored coffee beans and raspberry pretzels. It's quite lovely of him. He is my sweetheart for sure. It's crazy when I think about how long we've been together, because in so many ways it feels like it's just raced by, like it's just flown. It's wild. If you don't know, if you're new, my husband and I have been together since we were 16. Started dating when we were 16. Went to college together. My dad wouldn't let me get married until I graduated college. So, graduated college, we got married. And, yeah. Have our 2 fantastically wonderful kids. I'm a little partial, you know. And, yeah, it's just amazing. Feel very blessed, for sure. But when you think back, you're like, yeah, it's been a long time, but in a lot of ways it feels like it's just not been long at all. It's kind of wild. Probably help if I made this all flat, but as you can see, I'm not doing that. See, that one I went clear across. I don't know if I did that in this other part. Taking the signatures out, putting them all together. Oh, I did go across it. Okay, good. That makes me feel good. There we go. That's a little bit easier, huh? like that turquoise, but I think I might put a little more pink. Had my little spaz hands there. Can't decide, do I want it there? Do I want to go like this way? I think I like it over here more. I'll probably kick myself later and be like, I could have used those, however, but oh well. It's always hard to decide how many pages to put in a journal. Well, and then I started going through all my old book pages and all that, and I'm like, I really need to start using some of this. So that didn't help with the amount of pages I ended up getting out and folding. The one thing I definitely like is everything sticks really, really well to this paper bag. That's for sure. So that's nice. A lot of these are plain. Oh, that one's pretty. That's the turquoise, grungy turquoise wallpaper. Oh, why did I do that? Well. I don't know what makes me decide to rip some, because I know I'll get that question. Why did I rip some like that and some of them I use the ruler? I don't know. It's just whatever it strikes me at the moment, basically. I kind of want to put that one under there first, so maybe let's use this pink. And you could use any size scraps you want. You could use smaller ones, bigger ones. Just obviously, the smaller they are, the longer it's going to take you. And it can also be trickier to make it work, so to speak. A lot of times people say, how do you how do you learn to collage or what, or how do you decide and all that. I don't really know, because I have done it for a long time, and I just tend to do it, but I have found that the smaller the pieces, the harder it can be to make a collage look right. And I think the best thing to do is try not to overthink collage. Like, don't think about where you're sticking every single piece. Just like, I mean, yeah, you kind of want to think, oh, do I like that next to that or whatever. And in some collages, that doesn't even matter, especially on master boards where you're cutting it up and making it into tags and journaling cards and pockets and all that. It doesn't really matter, because chances are the piece over there doesn't matter what the piece is over here, because they're not going to end up in the same place. So, but for this type of one, you may want to think, I want to use these particular papers because they go well together, or whatever. And you can always put down a layer, and if there's something, a part you're not liking, like you're thinking that line's too straight or something, that's where it's good to add things like stamps or, I don't know, labels or little bits of this and that, because that can help break up some of the lines. See, like these, I'm not all that worried because I am going to have other items over the top. It doesn't quite fill the gap. And obviously over near the edges of the paper, you're probably going to want to use the ruler rather than the jagged edge, depending on how much of the outside area you want to see. I feel like a lot of this stuff, though, we kind of take too seriously. Like, you don't need to stress about it, because chances are, if you just really don't like it, you can just pitch it, start over. But usually there's ways to fix things, especially some little thing like, oh, I put that piece of paper in the wrong spot, or that one looks weird. Just add a different one over the top of it, or, you know, like I said, a stamp or a whatever. It's the only problem with collage, your fingers get like extra sticky. What have you guys been up to? Anything? We are getting cold, yucky weather again. I've been so happy the last 2 days. I've been going for walks in the sunshine. It's been like 50 degrees, which feels glorious. You really don't even need a jacket. But today it's all cloudy and cold again, and we're supposed to get rain and snow and all the stuff. I'm not really happy about. I'm going to just put a piece of this. Yeah, that makes me sad, especially when it was super duper nice. You get that spring fever, even though I know it's not time yet. Can't help it. It just feels lovely. And you don't want it to go. My daughter put a post on Instagram today about how her Valentine is her laptop because she spends more hours a day with it than anybody else. Between school and, like I said, her job at the university is, she does graphic design for them, and then her other job is wandering around a museum. But between the graphic design job and homework, she was like, I spend 7 hours a day with my laptop. It must be my Valentine. You are the silliest. It's kind of true at that age, you know. That's the way it goes sometimes. If you don't have a significant other. And my son's having a blast going to BSU. He prefers it much more than where he was, so I'm very happy about that. Sorry, that was very loud. Very happy for him. All right, we're gonna make the pockets now and kind of figure out where they're gonna go before I decide if I want any other little bits. I might put a little something up there too. I like to put a little something on those tears. All right, so we need to decide what I want for what. I think I'm going to take this up here for one of the pockets. We're gonna do it's gonna be very similar to the one that we just did with the tag and all that. It's just gonna be a little sort of a different version, but it's the whole page sort of pocket thing again. So if you liked that one, you'll probably like this one. And the first thing I'm going to do is glue these two together. I'm trying to decide, do I want this side? No, I want this, I think. So I'm going to glue this together first. So you kind of need 2 layers, just, you know, because otherwise your pocket's just going to be really flimsy. So I would do 2 layers of whatever it is. You could do book page for this. So if you've been liking the book page pockets, this could definitely fall into the book page pocket. If you're making a sewing journal, you could use, you know, same sort of thing I'm using, or pages out of if you have like an old home ec book or some other book like that. I'm going to actually fold this. This goes like this. This goes like this. I just want to see where my fold is so that I don't mess up where I put the pockets. Okay. So I'm going to cut this into kind of a square shape. Actually, first, I don't need like particularly a square. I'm going to make a triangle pocket is what I'm going for. But I want to obviously keep as much of it as I can. Cut a little bit more of this off. I feel like it's a lot of that. So you kind of want to try to get pocket or corner to corner sort of thing if you can. Which can be a little bit tricky, but to give yourself a triangle. And that's a pretty decent sized triangle, I'm sure you can tell. So it's going to go kind of like this. I have to remember I'm going to have a signature in there. This, I haven't done this one before, so this is me trying to figure this out as best I can. So that's going to be like that. I want the pocket that way, just, I mean, it could have gone on this side too, but I want it this way. So I'm going to do it this way. So yeah, we want to come out a little bit from where that is. I'm going to ink this. You could have just done also, now that I realize, one thickness and then folded it in half, you know, to get your triangle if you wanted to, but it's all right. It's not a big deal. It all gets used up somewhere. And then I gotta look at my book. I have a book that I just sort of draw pictures in sometimes, which doesn't always work perfectly, but if you're just trying to quickly jot down an idea before you lose it, it can work to do it that way. If this one's too big, let's cut it out and see. I was going to make a pot or a tag, but I think I might just use one of these. So sort of, this is sort of an all over the place eclectic journal, because it is that whole grandma's attic, abandoned house, like it's the things that get left behind, or I don't know, you know what I mean? There's just so many things in your life that you use, that you do, sewing and cooking and your collectibles and I don't know, just so many things. So that's kind of, and you know, ancestors and all the things in and out of your life for years. So that's sort of, that's why it's like this and you know. I'm going to do another sewing pocket, I think, for this stuff. I do like that, but I don't know if that'll work. This piece, I think, will work well. It's got a little color, too. I want a different tag. Oh, what I did with those. I have a mess. I keep putting stuff back in a bucket so that I remember where, you know where all the parts are, but then I get it all out to do something. And then it's just a mess again. Another thing that might be cool is wallpaper for a pocket or a tag. I'm just thinking that's a little big. I do like the rocking chair though. You guys got to go check out Nancy Pitter's video because she is just doing really cool stuff. I might go ahead and use that one. Sorry, you guys. You're probably ready to throttle me. It's essentially what I'm doing is making pockets again all over. So I'm going to use a tag, I'm using a corner pocket, and I'm going to use one other pocket. And these I did cardstock, so they are a little bit thicker. So I need to back that. That's a little bit big. Use this too as a tag. I have this that could be used as a pocket instead of the sewing tissue. I don't know, I'm still going to make one out of that and see what it looks like. So we're going to have, obviously, pocket, tag as a tuck, and this as another tuck. So you'll, however you decide to do yours, out of whatever materials you decide to use, you can decide what size you want, because obviously if you use a regular journal page, you're going to want it to be a little bit smaller than maybe this setup I have, because this is part of the cover. It's a little bit larger. And I know I'm not going to want it quite that big. I'm going to fold it. Doesn't have to have gussets, but I'll go ahead and put some gussets. Because since you're probably just going to tuck something little in it, it doesn't have to have gussets. That's, you can decide how you want to do yours, but if you want gussets, leave yourself a little extra. As always we do. And then you're just going to cut the corners out because they're just going to add bulk. Okay, I chopped that corner off, but I'm not worried. Yeesh. Okay, so I think I probably will use this because it shows up a little bit better. See, it's a little all over the place once you get all those different bits together in the same spot. It's a lot going on. So I might overlap them a little bit just to bring this pocket down, because you can still see tuck just about anything in there. It'll be easy. You could do these with gussets too. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to use this smaller tag because the bigger one would cover everything up. And I can cut a little more off of that. And that's just a piece of the kit page that I have left over that was printed on cardstock on accident, but it's been kind of nice to have because I've used it for a few things. Where's my... Oh, I have that too, which I could cut smaller. I like that a little better. It's a little lighter. We're back to the busy thing happening. It's looking busy. A lot of my stuff ends up looking busy, but that's okay. Try to cut it straight if possible. I'm pretty positive my problem with this cutter is user error. Just don't think I'm very great with it. But I like it so much more than the slide blade things because they so often tear your paper, and I know that's because the blade's dull, but it seems like the blade's always dull. And then I can cut this. It's not, this is clearly not going to be a huge tuck spot. We'll go 4.5. It's just going to be a little tuck, not a big tuck. And you wouldn't even have to have a tag. If you don't want a tag, you could make it something else. These are just ideas. You do you. That's always good advice, right? And I want to scoot that down a tiny bit because I think I'm going to overlap it that way. I want enough room to put a tag in there and not have it hanging out the top a ton. It can a little. I think I will put a hole in there. Where's my... I had it right in my hand and put it back down. Okay, let's get this glued down. And you can decide to do it however you want. If you don't want one of the things, don't put it. Come over this way a little bit more. This one probably could be a tiny bit thicker, but I'm not gonna worry right now about that. This stuff isn't very thick. Let's see where that fold is. We're just going to tuck that into there just a little bit, maybe. Maybe we'll go on top. Might be better. I don't know, these kind of pages are just fun, I think. You can do them lots of different ways. Just play around with some pockets and see what you come up with. I think. I don't know that I want to glue that down yet. I might see how I want this. Like, I do it like that, but that's going to leave you not much room. I'll do something more like that. And I am going to glue on there. It's just going to be a little tuck, like I said. It's not going to be a huge, huge pocket. These are all ideas I've had for years, and I don't know why. I've just never tried them, really, a lot of them. But this book really, I think these are great for, because especially if you do this flip-flop thing, there's a lot of space that's a little bit larger that you can actually fit them pretty well on. Like, they are a little harder to fit on a normal size page, obviously. If you wanted to, before you glue that down, you could put like a little piece of fabric or twine. I just didn't want to bulk it out any more than it already was with this here. Really want it that to stick right there. So now I can still have my rocking chair. And then that other one's kind of blocked though, huh, with the rocking chair. I need a little thing. Have a little something tucked back there, kind of secret. And then I need to make some tags for these, but just so you get the idea, you could go something kind of sticking in there. Like a smaller. This is from the freebie, the suitcases and the gardening stuff. Oh my gosh, that took me forever, you guys. I'm sorry. That was brutal to watch. And then I guess we will stop there. See what I mean by it takes a minute sometimes? And then you could have something like that there. You know, you're going to get that, all that kind of messy, jumbled up look. And then you could cut one of these down if you wanted for a wider tag in there, or use, obviously, make a tag to go in there, which is probably what I'm going to do. But yeah, you could just have all kinds of fun with the pockets going this way and that way. I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. You could also tuck in a little secret something in there that only sticks out a tiny bit. That one's too big. You know, something that's tinier that sticks inside of there. That's pretty cute. A smaller tag. You guys are like, I know, I got it. Sorry, I just get playing around and then hogging up all your time. There's one of these in there. I mean, you can do all kinds of things. Anyway, there you are. 3 pockets. That's a fun little pocket page. And I hope you guys liked this. I hope it's a little more clear now what I did on the front. Sorry, I didn't do that with you guys. And let me know about the lighting, if it's everybody's or it's just maybe a setting issue, or I don't know, because I haven't done anything different, so I'm not sure what in the world it would be, Robin. I apologize. I'm trying. Just let me know, guys, and I will chat with you again soon. Love you guys. Bye.